Okay, welcome to the pre-tournament briefing for the Champions League 2016. I've got the Group A representatives with me. To my right is Callum Graybrook, captain of the holders FC Schalke. To my left, I've got Sevilla captain Matt Perry, okay, from Spain, of course, as we all know. And finally, on my farthest left, I've got Matt Rice, who is stepping in for Greg Evans, who has mass duties this afternoon. So, the way this will be conducted is as follows. There'll be questions from myself to the team captains, representatives, and then we will open it up to the floor to you media outlets. If I could just ask, just for a protocol, you just raise your hand before you ask a question, and then if you can just state who you would like it to be directed at, and then I will allow you to ask that question. Okay? Anybody got any questions? Okay, so my first question is directed to the Dinamo Zagreb step-in. In terms of preparations, obviously the draw's been over a week ago now. How are preparations going?
Well, I don't want to give away too much, but it's going good. Like, we've got the kit ready, players are all prepared, some good link-ups are being developed, and yeah, it's going good.
Okay, who are the star players likely to be in your squad?
James Carroll, Isaac will be solid at the back, and Joe Kelly put the goals away. And then, of course, we've got Greg Evans, our captain.
What credentials do you think you need to possess to do well in this tournament as a squad?
I just think we need to work well together. I think we've got the most well-rounded team. We've got good defence, good midfield, good attack, and a half-decent goalkeeper.
So looking at Group A, you obviously got your competitors at Sevilla, FC Schalke, and obviously Wolfsburg, who are not in attendance today. Which will be dealt with by UEFA in the forthcoming days, and a decision given on the morning of the tournament. Who do you see as being your main challengers in this group?
I think they're all equal teams. I think our biggest challenge will be ourselves, to be honest.
Why is that?
Well, I think if we gel as a team, we'll play really well and we'll smash them. But, you know, got a bit of frosty characters in the group, like James Carroll, he can be a bit off sometimes. So, you know, with him as our star player, we need him on board and playing well.
How are you going to deal with those type of players?
Well, that's up to the captain, Greg.
So you're washing yourself of all responsibility?
Well, I'm the vice captain, so I'll just do what Greg tells me.
Okay.
But
so technically you're a bit of a yes man, so really it is down to Greg to do everything. You're not prepared to be involved. He will live and stand by those decisions and you're going to take a back seat.
I'll just do what he tells me to do, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, just moving to Sevilla. Obviously you've got a very, very important match tomorrow night in the Europa League final, and that's probably your main priority at this minute. So thanks very much for taking the time out to attend. How are preparations going for you?
Awful. I must admit, social media has been an absolute disaster for our lads this week, really. We've had a nightmare on Twitter. I don't know if anyone's seen it, but well, I'll let you explain it, Dan.
Yes, we have actually got something that we want to actually formalise and announce today. Over the weekend, Wolfsburg sent a derogatory tweet to Sevilla, and Sevilla put in a complaint regarding that, which has been investigated up to this point, and Wolfsburg have been charged with a suspended sentence of £1 million and also a 2-point deduction. And that's on the basis that they don't commit any further offences between now and the tournament. Obviously, we're disappointed. We'd like to have asked some questions in front of you, the assembled media, today. But whether they've got something to highlight, well, I'm not sure at this point. They're not here to defend themselves. So we can only assume that that's something that we've got to deal with in due course. So we will deal with that, okay? So there'll be an announcement, as I alluded to at the start of this press conference, there'll be an announcement on Monday morning when I introduce the tournament at about 9:30 as to what the final punishment will be for them. But obviously, you know, they were told that they were not to commit any further offences before the tournament. And as you can quite clearly see, in fairness to Zagreb, their captain has a very valid reason to not be in. He's already got a prior engagement. However, they've got no representative here whatsoever. So just on the basis of that, how do you feel that's disrupted you in terms of you individually as a captain and your players?
Well, I cancelled training for the whole week because the lads were just, their heads went completely. They were just, we had one training session after it happened and they were just awful. So I had to give them a little holiday, a few days off, let them get their thoughts together again. To be fair, they're back in training now, so they're doing well. They're alright now, yeah.
And how have they responded to that break?
They've done well.
Okay, what's the standard of the training been like? Has it been a good tempo?
Yeah, top class. I can't ask any more of them, really.
How do you think it was quite an issue last year? I know that obviously you participated for a day in it. The sports hall there, the surface. How are you dealing with that in training? How are you preparing for using that surface? Because last year it caught a few teams out.
Yeah, we've done a bit of training on ice. Went down the ice rink itself and did a bit of training there, so we should be prepared really. Yeah.
Good. Okay. In terms of the tournament itself, you've got the holders in your group. Do you think they can defend their trophy?
Schalke, top squad. I want to say a lot of respect for them. More last year they worked hard for a lot of time of the game. So yeah, that'll be a tough one. But you got to beat the best team if you want to win it. So yeah, we'll be able to do that, I think.
Okay, thanks very much for that. And turning to the holders, obviously FC Schalke won it last year on penalties.
Yeah.
Now this year you want to try and defend it. Do you think you can defend it? And why do you think you can defend it?
Of course we can defend it. Got 2 people who played in the final before. They should have won it last year. Of course we can win it again.
What are the main credentials you need then? So you've been involved at that stage before, and obviously yourself personally weren't at Schalke last year, so it's great for you coming into the side that's already won it, but you were on the losing side last year. So what credentials do you need to win a 10 minutes each way final, or to get to that final in the first instance?
Defend better, not make any silly mistakes like we did last year at Atletico.
So if you're like cutting out mistakes
Yeah.
and such, yeah. Okay. So how are preparations going in Germany for yourselves?
Yeah, they're not bad. Trained hard.
Who's your star player? Or likely star player?
Christoph,
For what reason?
clinical in front of goal.
What do you think though in this Group A? This Group A has been called the Group of Death,
Yeah.
right? Do you agree with that, or do you think they're fairly even the groups, or is this group the most difficult group?
A lot harder than the other group.
And what do you think about your opponents? Obviously, Sevilla, to your left here, Dinamo Zagreb, Wolfsburg.
Sevilla top team. Don't know about them at the end. Wolfsburg, they'll struggle, I think.
Not for what reason?
Just not a team, are they? We've got no one here again today.
Do you think it might affect their preparation, that it's been very disjointed, they've been involved in an investigation, they're going to be currently investigated further,
Yeah, it's got
they've got no representative here to defend themselves to the world really before this tournament. Do you think that might impact upon team morale?
Should do, yeah. Definitely it would here.
Because I have actually one thing, I've spoken with one or two of the Wolfsburg players, and they are a little bit agitated at the minute about the way that they've been led. So it'd be interesting to see if they can pull that together for next week, because they are one of the favourites for the tournament. If they put their mind to it, they could be up there competing. But as you say, it may well be, obviously, if they've not got their mindset correctly on it, and they're all infighting amongst each other, that's not great moving forward. Okay, so just like to thank the captains for their initial input, and I'd just like to open it up to the floor for the next couple of minutes. Is there any of you, the assembled media, that have got any questions you would like to direct to any of the captains at this point? If you'd like to raise your hand. Yes, so which media outlet are you
I've
from?
got a question.
Which media outlet are you from? Which newspaper?
Mirror.
From the Mirror, okay. The
Yeah.
Mirror, who's it for?
The Sevilla.
Sevilla
Captaincy.
captain, okay, yeah, off you go.
As we all know, one of your star players, Jack Jones, has been away on a holiday. How is he going to fit into the squad as he comes back for the start of the tournament?
Great question, yeah. We have set up a little warm weather training for Jack because he's been injured for a bit, so we sent him over to America, a little bit of warm weather training, so he knows what's going on, don't worry about it.
Yes, thank you. Where are you from, sir?
CNN News.
CNN News.
Dinamo Zagreb. Last year, I believe yourself actually got sent off in one of your final games. So, have you learned from your mistakes of last year and developed your disciplinary?
Yeah, last year isn't the best year for me. Got to semi-final, got a bit too emotional. Things weren't going my way, so I got myself sent off. But this year, I think I can hold it together.
Are you happy with that answer?
I am, yeah.
Have we got any other questions from the assembled media at all? Yes, and where are you from, sir?
Daily Star.
Daily Star.
I've got a question for Schalke. I've noticed that on your team sheet, you have 5 players. The other 2 clubs here have 6, and Wolfsburg have 5. How do you think you'll cope with having one less player compared to everyone else?
Well, hopefully we won't have one less player. Try to get a new player in, but not through just yet. Can't say anything.
Are you expecting to do that? If there's no transfers allowed?
They're wild cards.
Okay.
Are you happy with that answer?
Yep.
Okay, thank you for that question. Have we got any other questions? Yes, sir, where are you from?
The advertiser.
Oh, great.
Question for each individual: who's going to win the tournament?
Good question.
Us.
Good question.
Ooh.
Team that scores the most goals in the final.
Ooh.
Dino Zagreb?
I think we've got the best chance in the tournament.
So at the moment, there's only Schalke that's very confident about winning the tournament. The other teams are a bit cagey. Is that right?
Well, I don't see why they're that confident. Like, half their team lost in the final last year, so their team are losers, really.
No other team has any finalists.
No.
Well, maybe a good thing.
We're just going to keep ourselves to ourselves. Then.
Thank you very much.
I think that's. I can see there's a little bit of friction here already. It's already started. We've got one. I've got one final question from the one final. Yes. Where are you from, sir?
The Daily Kendo.
The Daily Kendo. Oh, okay.
I got a question for everyone. Who would you think in the other groups would be, from the other group, in Group B, who would you think would be a quite strong contender?
Good question. I'll leave that to you, Cal, first. Yeah, as holders.
Gotta go PSG. You've got a very strong team.
Every team in the competition will be dangerous in different ways, so we've got to keep our eyes open.
But you're not taking it out for granted.
Well, I know our team's been focused on our group, really. We haven't really looked at any other group, but I'll agree with Schalke, PSG. They've got the best chance.
Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll just take a 2-minute break there. Okay.